Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a reading on President Trump. Where does he stand right now? A couple of maybe about a year ago or so, I did a reading on him, but I felt like it was time to do an updated reading. I know that a lot of people have been wanting to know, like, what is Spirit showing, like, what are his emotions, what is he going through. And then I'm going to also be focusing on Hillary Clinton in the same video. So we're going to be focusing on her. I know that a lot of people have been asking for me to do a reading on her as well. I should actually do them separate, but I think I'm going to just do it on this video. I don't know. We will see if I end up reading her on this video. If I don't, it will be a second video that I'll do separate just for Hillary Clinton. But I'm going to be focusing on the virus, the stimulus check. A lot of you have been asking, like, what is going on, blah blah blah, about the stimulus check, because you know all this is going on. I will say this, that what has been going on is that the Democrats have been holding that process up, and we can thank Miss Pelosi out there for that, because she is the one that's been holding up, along with the other people in the House of Representatives. They, whatever that political process is, they are holding it up. That they want to come down $1 trillion. They want, the government to, the president to go up $1 trillion. I don't know. It's politics. You know how politics are. And so, let me go ahead and start off this reading by burning some Palo Santo, because Lord knows there's a lot of negative energy that will be tuning into this reading. The haters, the Drusillas that don't have anything else to say but bad things about President Trump and about me for supporting him, but yet they're the ones watching this video, waiting to comment. So we're gonna I'm gonna smoke them out of here. Smoke them out. We're gonna smoke out the snowflakes. The radical left. Smoke them out. I'm gonna be using 3 different decks as well. We're gonna be asking a couple of questions here. All right, Spirit. The first thing I want you to show me, Spirit, is where do we actually stand with President Trump right now? Where is his actual mind? Like, what is he going through emotionally? If you can please show us, like, what are his thoughts on this election? So I guess it's like a 2-part question. What is going on with him, spiritually, physically, and then also what are his thoughts on the election? Now keep in mind that when I do this reading, you're going to see the cards, but they're not going to be in reverse. You'll probably see them, in reverse at first, but I don't do reversals on my channel, unlike a lot of tarot readers, because I just don't believe in that Spirit works in reverse, and I've said that before. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see here. This is interesting. Okay, so the first card that we got here is, and I asked, like, where is his mentality about this? Like, what are his feelings about all of this? Like, what is he actually going through here? So, what I see immediately when I tune into, like, what is his feelings about this whole election? What's going on? What is he feeling right now? The Queen of Swords came up, which is very interesting that she would come up. The Queen of Swords represents the female, right? So I feel like honestly, I feel like it's about, right now, about him looking at, all the females in the world. And I want to say that, support, not only from females, but a very strong female is going to support or come forward maybe during the conventions to support Trump. I don't know if this is Ivanka or somebody else, but I also feel like there's something, you know, when I say things here on my channel, there's always a reason that I say something, even though some people think I'm biased when I do readings. But I feel like there is definitely some, I think a lot of people think that because, you know, Kamala Harris is running, you know, as vice president for Biden, that, you know, she, you know, that women automatically are going to vote for Biden because there is a female that is, you know, in the mix. But I honestly feel like a lot of women are going to be rising up and supporting Trump for this. And he knows that. He has to, like, kind of, you know, remind the, I guess we would call them the housewives of suburbia, or just women in general, right? That he's reminding them that he, you know, he is willing, he's there for our people, for the United States of America. He is there to help them. Regardless of what people think about him, you know, what is going on, he's there to support them. And, you know, I feel like that is like a demographic that he already has, like, under the bag. Like, I feel like he has that in the bag, but really and truly, there's still a select majority that are going to vote only because they don't like President Trump and what he's done. They're going to vote just to be spiteful for Biden and Harris because, you know, in their mind, they are the lesser of two evils, but it's actually the other way around. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. This is the case here. And then I have here the Ace of Wands. So he feels confident. Like, feels confident about the election. I feel very confident still. When I said that I felt like he was going to actually win the election, I actually feel very confident in that as well with what I'm being shown here. So because I asked Spirit immediately, let me turn these around now so that y'all can see them, like, what was going on. A lot of communication is going on. However, in the midst of all of this, he knows that he is hated by the radical left, and he knows that they, you know, they're judging him, that there is, like, a judgment here, you know, that he, but at the same time, they are being judged as well. A lot of people, interestingly enough, they DM me and they're like, Ray, what you said about our ancestors being upset about the world, you know, about all these weather events and things that are happening in the world. Look at what we're doing in this world. A lot of people never learned from the coronavirus. They only grew their hearts darker and black, and they didn't learn anything from the coronavirus. The only thing they learned was to hate, using the Black Lives Matter movement to spread hate. Now, I'm not saying that that movement was a hateful movement, but there were people that were behind this, that this movement was funded with, you know, whoever funded that movement. I'm not going to say, but I think a lot of you already know who was behind that when we talk about the deep state. And then the destruction that's going on right now in Washington, that's going on in Portland, and all these areas, right, where they're trying to defund the police. They're trying to paint a picture and sending more hate. They destroyed, like in Minneapolis, they destroyed blocks upon blocks and just other places of a city that, you know, they basically burned it to ashes. It's anarchist behavior. It's destructive. It's terrorism within our own United States, and it has to stop. And I feel like the judgment card is the universe actually judging us. When I say us, I mean the people that are against Trump, the people that are spreading hate in this world. A lot of people are so blinded that they are just going to follow the pack, right? And I know a lot of people are going to be upset about, like, what I say, but, you know, either you take me or you leave me. I'm not going to change for anybody. I stand very strong and firmly to my beliefs and stuff. And a lot of people are going to be, well, you're for Trump, so this is a biased reading. Wrong. You know, when I come into this, I'm looking at it from all angles and all perspectives. Now, as far as, like, what he is going through right now, then we have here the Three of Pentacles. So then we see this card here. You know, he feels the negativity. He feels the what the American people are feeling, what they are going through in their life right now. They're not going through anything really good. A lot of people are losing jobs. Look at what Gruesome Newsom is doing to the state of California. Look at what has happened with the Uber and Lyft. They have pulled out of California. The only reason they've done that is because of this ridiculous rules that, Newsom has put into place. And, this is what's going on, the fires that are going on in California. I have a lot of people like, well, why is Mother Nature taking it out on us? It's not our fault. Somebody recently DM'd me, and I'm like, girl, it is our fault. It is all of the people out there that are still full of hate, still using their agendas, their platforms to sway people, to, talk crap about other people. But, they don't like it when it's dished back to them, right? And they have this, beautiful onset. It's funny because I was looking at I didn't watch let me just tape this. This stand is always coming loose. I have to use the Gorilla Tape. I need to get a new stand, which I have one coming. It's the back leg. But anyways, what I was saying is that when you look at the DNC, I didn't watch any of it because I'm not Democrat. I'm not for the Democrats at all. But when you look at it and you watch it, I just saw like what they put on, Instagram posts and stuff. And it's like all that Biden and, he brought like a lot of people, Obama, which Obama didn't really do anything for the United States. If you really look at it, there was a lot of stuff that he didn't do. I mean, it's just point factual. He messed up a lot of things. And the world, like Trump said, he wouldn't have been elected president and wouldn't be there if Obama had done such a great job, right? They would have voted in Hillary. There would have been another Democratic Party in there. But obviously there's problems and things that were not addressed. And so he's getting a lot of hate. And he knows that, a lot of people are feeling isolated, going back to the reading. But it's crazy how, the radical left only wants to point fingers and just play the blame game on what is going on in the world and blame President Trump for the deaths of the coronavirus when the U.S. is not the only ones that have had deaths for the coronavirus. Are you going to blame Trump for the deaths in Italy? The death rate in China? China's for Biden. The Chinese government is for Biden. They want Biden, and let's just keep it real here, putting all BS aside. And Biden, and I'm bringing it up because it's very much about like what the cards are showing here, like what is really going on. Biden, he was Obama's vice president for 8 years. If he had the solution and he knew what was the actual solution for this, why wouldn't he have told Obama? Why didn't he tell Obama during that time? I'm sorry, I have to laugh because it's comical. Like, this man is using his platform now as running for president of the United States. If he knew the solution to this virus and stuff, why didn't they put anything in place before they exited in the 8 years? Why wasn't anything done under the Obama administration if it was such a glorified, administration and so perfect? Right? I know that I'm going to get a lot of hate, but I'm just keeping it real. I was never a fan of Obama. Never. And I didn't really care for him at all. And I feel like, he divided the nation. That was another thing that the DNC actually spoke about, was about, how this nation has been divided by racism. But it's not Trump supporters that are dividing the nation, honey. It's the Black Lives Matter movement. And it's all these movements that are going on right now in the world that are inciting hate. But it was funny how during the DNC, when Joe, did his blah, 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 he didn't address that. No, it was all about the coronavirus, because that's the narrative that they have been spinning to the public. The narrative that, President Trump is a horrible president, that he has, done all kinds of stuff. He hasn't done enough for the people, that he just sat and played golf, in Mar-a-Lago, and, all this crap that is all false narratives. Again, they're in control of everything. I just saw an interview as well from, I think it was George Stephanopoulos, or whatever his name is, Stephanopoulos. I don't know. That guy, that short guy, from Good Morning America. He's so biased. He was interviewing Vice President Pence, and he was just ridiculous. Like the way that he was attacking President Trump and asking questions that were so calculated and contrived, to throw jabs. It was almost like a walking advertisement for Biden, again. And I think Pence did an excellent job as Vice President of the United States. He did an excellent job addressing this and having Trump's back, because honestly, it's like the media, all the media, well, if you're from New York, the majority, I'm not going to say all of New York is for Biden, but a lot of people that, are kind of mixed in there with, who they support. But it's basically a big shit show. That's what it basically winds down to. And you can tell when interviewers talk, when they talk about the questions and stuff, it's always like a personal attack. They don't bring up Pelosi and all the antics that she's done, like ripping up the paper behind the president's back. Always her and Schumer. Oh my God, I can't stand Schumer at all. He's so gross, just gross. But anyways, that's another subject. But the way that he comports himself, Schumer, and I think that's his name, and Pelosi, they're just ridiculous. But then I asked Spirit about like this, for Trump, the first part, like how did he feel about that, and then about the election. We got the Chariot card, so that tells me that he is still going to win the election. I see it, and justice is going to be done. There's going to be a lot of balancing, and money is coming. So as far as like, and I'm going to ask about the stimulus, but money is coming. Trump wants to give the people money. It's not Trump's fault. Pelosi, like I said, and all these people, they have made, they say that they're for the people and they want to, strike a deal and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is that they have made it almost impossible, so that way that the Republicans and the Democrats go head to head, and nothing gets resolved ever for the people. So this is why President Trump did the executive order for that. Like, I want to see during this reading, like, how does President... Let me ask... Let me see, what's the question I want to ask here? Is President Trump going to win the election? Let's see. Let's get clarification. Is President Trump going to win the 2020 election? I'm just going to pull, let me see what card comes out. I may pull about 3 cards. These are the Rider-Waite Tarot deck that I'm using. Well, nothing flew out, so let me just randomly draw some cards. And I asked if he was going to win the election, so let's see. Ace of Pentacles. The 3 of Wands. The Tower. Okay, so the Ace of Pentacles, like, that's about accomplishing what you want, like money. And a lot of people may not agree with the cards. The 3 of Wands is about planning, like planning the future, looking towards the future. And notice the sky is yellow. It's like positive. Happiness is going to be restored. There's going to be balance that's going to be restored. But like I've said, you need to prepare. Everyone needs to have ample stock in their pantry and have all of this, food, enough food to last several weeks. Water, stock up before November's election, because it's going to be a shit show. With the Tower card, tells me big destruction is coming. And again, I feel like this card, honestly, that it means change is coming. But I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, change, you mean like change? This card means that it's going to be change in the administration. No. I asked if Trump was going to win the election. But with the Tower card, for me, these 2 cards are very positive. The 3rd card isn't. The 3rd card here is, to me, represents how people are going to react. They're going to then say that once he wins, that the election is rigged. That the election is rigged, that he did this, he did that, to win the election, just like, you know, when Hillary was very bitter about losing, and she still is. And, you know, they're going to start burning things down. Again, the anarchists, the terrorists of these movements, they're going to be going out there and burning facilities and things like that. There's going to be chaos. The military is going to have to come in. They're going to have to stop this. It's going to be riots. People are going to be like in mental distress because, oh my God, 4 more years with President. You know how the snowflakes are. I'm just going to say it. I know a lot of people don't like that name, that term, but it is what it is, right? And they're going to be like freaking out like, oh my God, no, I'm moving to China. I'm moving to Canada. Well, go ahead, honey. You should already pack your stuff and have a list and get ready to move, because a lot of people are very adamant that they think that Biden is going to win, but I still stand strong, feel that Trump is going to win with what I see here. But what follows that announcement is not good, because again, it's not that it's President Trump's fault, but the people that are so programmed, the deep state, the people that are corrupt, they're going to be very angry about it. But I see that he is going to win. Let me pull one more card here and see what comes out. Let me just pull from the deck. Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles. So, you know, the economy, messages of real rebuilding. You notice how the Tower card is stuck in between this, like in between these two cards here. The Three of Wands and then the Knight of Pentacles. So, yeah, there's going to be, in between all of this, going to be chaotic. Between now, right now when this video hits and drops onto my YouTube channel, watch them as every month progresses closer and closer to November, which is September and October. Things are going to get very ugly. And, you know, the fact of what is going on, how people are reacting. You know, I feel like I see visions already, like people fighting at the polls, you know, Trump supporters fighting, being fought, you know, the Democrats are fighting the Republicans at voting stations. I see certain, in the Democratic states, a lot of these people, especially if there's ballots are going to go missing. You know, the Democrat supporters are going to throw away a lot of Republican ballots and stuff like that. So a lot of spying that's going on, which is all illegal. Like all of that is federal crimes to be doing all of that, but it's going to all happen. So I don't know. But what I feel and see in the future, like in future elections down the road, is potentially that there will be something more electronic, as far as where the voting is concerned, but we will still need to see. I'm going to pull from this Wisdom of the Oracle to see what messages do they have for President Trump. What messages do they have for President Trump? What messages do the angels or the spirit guides have for President Trump? So I'm going to pull some cards. We're going to see what messages are coming through. You know, well, the one thing that I keep hearing that people say, you know, a lot of the radical left keeps repeating about Trump, President Trump, is that, you know, he doesn't have any experience in politics, and, you know, he doesn't have any experience, and he doesn't speak, you know, he doesn't know the facts or stuff, blah, blah, blah. He makes things up, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, this man has accomplished more than any other president in the United States, has passed a lot of different laws, is, you know, the treaty agreement or the peace agreement between Israel or wherever, you know, he's done so much in the last couple of, you know, and to deal with a pandemic, that is not an easy case. Like, tell me what other president has dealt with a pandemic of this size, right? People are so fixated. Well, so many people have died, but the recovery rate has been so much bigger. The numbers are all skewed when it comes to this. Like, it's crazy. Like, all the radical left has is they keep harping on the fact of the people that died. More people have died in other countries as well. That, you know, when we look at the actual death rates and stuff, like when you look at other pandemics as well, other flus like the Spanish flu, and the more people died in Europe than in any other country. So like, give me a break. He didn't create that virus. Obviously, it was created in China, right? In a lab. So like, why, you know, why aren't people waking up? And that's the thing that gets to me, that they don't want to wake up and see that he had no, you know, he closed the borders when it was imminent. Well, they're like, well, you know, he said at first, you know, that it wasn't a threat, you know, the virus wasn't as bad. Everybody didn't know, nobody knew how bad the virus was really. You know, as weeks progressed, as things went by, people started realizing, you know, the government and their team of scientists and medical doctors started realizing the severity. So things started changing. But, you know, people don't bat an eyelash on Fauci. They don't say anything about him. Oh no. He is, you know, he is a god to the radical left. He knows everything. He's done everything that he could possibly do. So these are the messages for President Trump. So the messages that I have here, the first card I got here is to be fair. That was the first card, to be fair. So I feel like this is saying that he is needing to be fair in everything that he's doing. And I feel like it's almost like when you say to be fair, if you look at it, she's holding the balance. It's basically saying he needs to be balanced. Like right now, I feel like he has so many things going on, it's so stressful, etc. You know, being a president is not an easy task. So basically to find some balance is what this is talking about. But people are not fair with him. They're not being fair. Co-create. We're talking about co-creating with the universe. The man is divinely guided, regardless if people want to see it or not. He is divinely guided. And there's a reason that God has allowed him to be in the position that he's in, okay? This is the one thing that I've never said, and I don't think a lot of people talk about that because they're so consumed with the fact that they want him out of the White House. There's a reason that President Trump is in the White House, okay? When we start talking about scripture, we start talking about doctrine, we start talking about religion or spiritual beliefs. There's a reason, there's a rhyme and the reason. So why are we questioning what the universe has put forward, right? Nobody questioned when Obama was in presidency. Oh no, he was glorified. And, you know, other presidents that have been, they've never received the amount of hate as President Trump has received. This man is divinely guided. Regardless if you want to like it or not, you think that I'm kissing butt, whatever, I don't care. Honestly, don't care. I am saying, you know, he is divinely guided. The yang. Creation. If he is reelected like I see he is, there's going to be so many more jobs. There's a goal, there's future. There's a future for us, but it's almost like, it looks like almost like a fireball, things going up in flames. Again, I feel like the plans that they have, you know, the plans that the dark has are going to go up in flames. But there is positive. It's all about creation. God, the universe, they have his back. A leg up. So like this is like a lot of focus on families. And him focusing with his son Barron and, you know, his other children, Donald Trump Jr., you know, Ivanka. There's a lot of focus. They all depend on him because he is like the patriarch of the family, right? But who does he depend on? Like, who can he depend on? You know, that's like a lot of weight to carry as the president of the United States, and so much hate. And I had this discussion with a close friend of mine, like, about the amount of hate that he has received. Like any other man that would have been in, in presidency, etc., they would have left long ago. They would have left. They would have abandoned it. They would have not had the strength to endure what President Trump has endured. Then we have here the mending. Again, repairing and bringing hope again to the people. He is gonna be doing that. This is a message from the angels. Look, I can't make this shit up. Chaos and conflict. He needs to be prepared because the people, and he's going to have to take, as president, make executive orders and bring in the military and the National Guard, and we may even have to have some military from other countries come into the USA. This is going to be like we've never seen it before, because again, people are not going to be able to cope with the reality that he is reelected. And I know a lot of people are just not going to cope with it. They're not. They're going to lose their crap. They're going to lose it. They're going to lose it. And it's going to be ugly. An observer. He's going to be observing everything. And it's almost like a connection. When you're the observer, you learn a lot more when you observe than when you speak. This is a spiritual battle between the light and the darkness. Spiritual battle. You see the chest, the dark chest, the white chest. And they are wanting to defeat him. And it says here, it says not for you, with a fortune cookie. Nope. So I honestly feel like the chaos and conflict. Notice that the chaos and conflict came up first. This card is saying that they're not going to win what they want to do, what they're hoping to achieve. This door is a doorway. It looks like a door, yeah. It's a door, and it almost looks like the White House, and there's a face in there. That's the higher power. And the higher power is saying, nope. Darkness, children of perdition, of damnation, all the people that are, so full of hate and evil, you will not win. At the end of this battle, because it's going to be like a world war here in the USA, with what I feel and what other psychics have said, what we see happening in November and the months leading up to the end of the year. It's not going to be all about celebrations and pumpkin pie, honey. The spirit world, between worlds. We're in between two worlds, two realities. The ancestors support Trump. The spiritual protection that he has from the divine, the veils are so thin and separated already that you're not going to be able to tell which world we're operating out of. And then we have here fork in the road. It's going to stop. A lot of people have asked, like, when is all of this madness and this, this anarchy, when is it going to stop? It's going to stop. They're going to reach a fork in the road. When they see that he is reelected, they can't really do anything about it. Like, they cannot do anything about it. There will be more attempts to probably try to impeach him, etc. But I feel like a lot of those people have their own karma that they've already set up. Pelosi and all of those people, this is not a threat at all. But basically what I see from Spirit is that they have already set up their own bad karma. And all of that stuff is going to be returned. Like, what you do to other people that is dark, it's always, and the people that are witches that are cursing President Trump and doing all of that, I don't stand for that. And I'm a witch myself. I'm a white witch. And all of that comes back to you sooner or later. So the people that are bitching and complaining and moaning about, oh, I lost my job and all that. Well, what did you do? Did you partake in that cursing and that ritual, whatever they're trying to do to, because there's a lot, I know that a lot of my fans that are tuning in may be put off by this reading. And I know that a lot of people out there that are new, that maybe support me or that like what I have to say about President Trump, may not understand, like, why are you talking about witches and magic? Because that world is very real, and it does exist. And there are good witches and good energy and good power, and there's dark power out there. And I feel like this spiritual warfare that we're going through right now, a lot of the darker people, the dark witches and stuff, are doing things to sabotage the administration. And it's a group of them. Like, we're talking about covens and things, and this is not just in the USA, but around the world. So there's people that are out there that are doing bad things, and it's very, very scary, because a lot of that stuff that they're doing is going to have long-lasting repercussions. This is why the universe is in a state of emergency, in a state of imbalance. We saw the deadly thunderstorms that are happening in certain parts of the country, the massive earthquakes that are destructive, the bombing that we saw in Beirut, the the fires that are going on in California. The coronavirus was another thing. It's just like, it's been, and the murder hornets that we saw, like, it's been one thing after another through the year of 2020. 2020 is a year of having like 2020 vision. It is a year of an awakening. It's the year of, basically, of us as a humanity and group are waking up and stuff. So yeah, it's not a good year at all for a lot of people that are still spiritually asleep, and a lot of them are still very much affected by the energy of, what's going on in the world, and they can see it, and it kind of feeds, and it, it broods, and then it kind of grows into like a cesspool. That's what I consider, like, many parts of California right now is like a cesspool of dark energy. And if you join my Patreon, you can probably see the video that I do about the predictions of what I see for California, and a lot of it is coming true, and it's happening right before our eyes. So if you haven't joined my Patreon, you may want to join it. It's www.patreon.com/Psychic Medium Ray. The link is also just listed in the description box below. I decided not to do this video on Hillary Clinton. I'm just going to keep it about President Trump. And I will do Hillary's video, and it will only be available on Patreon. And I'll have that out sometime this weekend. So I want to thank you again, guys, for tuning in. If you did like this video, please, give it a thumbs up. And so, Trump 2020. Bye.